Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to talk about something that keeps coming up in the pagan community, and it's a few different things. Probably the worst thing for me that people do is act like pagan is a religion all of its own, and everyone has to follow the same path. It's very dogmatic to me. And trying to I'm trying to think how to word this. Trying to define what pagan is one of those things that's almost impossible to do because we do have so many different paths, and a lot of people tend to say, well, it's ancient European religions, which sometimes they throw in Mediterranean so that they can include Egyptian, but it's a lot more nuanced than that, I think, and it's a lot broader than just European and Mediterranean religions, because when you start getting into the Mediterranean, you're getting into African countries, and if, well, those African countries, the ones that border the Mediterranean, oh god, now I can't think of any. Morocco, Egypt, Algiers is up there? I'm really bad with geography, but once you start getting, what makes it that those countries, those African countries that are on the Mediterranean, what makes those religions pagan, but Southern African, you know, Eastern, Western African religions not pagan? And nobody has been able to give me a good enough answer. Some people say, well, it's because Greece and Rome conquered those areas, but no, no, I don't, I don't like that. I don't like putting African countries into the pagan tag or the pagan path if you don't include all of Africa, at least ancient religion-wise. And there's a lot to do with that, too, that we have to unpack with that, because we have to unpack colonialism and racism and transatlantic slave trade and how that changed spirituality for these people. So I think pagan is whatever you want it to be honest. If you take that title, if you feel comfortable with that particular label, that's what it is, and we don't get to fight it. But I see it a lot. Another thing that really has been bothering me lately is this idea that there are things that are pagan that aren't actually pagan. A big one is tarot cards. You see tarot cards, almost every pagan uses some form of tarot or oracle. And well, that's fine, that's absolutely fine. Tarot and oracle in and of themselves are not pagan. They're cards, they're tools. No different than, any other tool that we happen to use. So it really bothers me that, there's so much shaming going on when it comes to tarot and oracle cards. And what really bothers me is people who say that oracle cards are stupid or silly, or these people obviously have never used oracle cards in their life, so they don't, and they're making very rash judgments on things they've never used, one, and two, they've never looked at the book that goes along with the oracle deck. I'm gonna try to get my tarot deck book. to kind of make this point, excuse me. But I have Tarot of the Mystical Cats. I should have gotten this before I did the video, but now, like many other tarot decks, oh, here we go. We have, I just opened up to the Hermit, very cute card. We have the Cat's Advice, it says the Cat's Advice, and then we have if the card is reversed. Now, most Oracle decks that I've looked at has that same thing. If the card is reversed, it has a different meaning. A huge critique that I've seen of Oracle cards is that they're all positive and, you know, it's like enlightenment and, you know, hope and friendship and all this, all positive things. And first of all, there's always reverse meanings for cards, or almost always reverse meanings for cards. And two, things that are positive aren't always positive for that person. Like, if you get, I know the butterfly deck, or a butterfly deck that I saw once, had Metamorphosis. Now, that card could come up for a lot of reasons. Someone could be going through a change, and that's not always pleasant. Change is not always pleasant. Or they could be resistant to change, which I've seen a lot. I've talked to a lot of people who are so resistant to change. And obviously that card is not going to be a positive card for them, but it's something that they need to open up to. So I think if you don't have a grasp of what you're critiquing, don't critique it. You wouldn't critique a movie without going to see it. So why would you critique a book or, you know, a deck of cards if you've never used them? Especially with Oracle cards. Like, there's so many different ones, and that's not a bad thing at all. There's something else that I wanted to talk about, too. Oh, this was what it was. The idea that, and this might be a separate video, the idea that you have to be serious all the time in your faith, and it's kind of ridiculous to me, to be completely honest, because why do we have to be so serious all the time? I feel like there's a time and a place for seriousness, and there's definitely serious rituals, and there's serious, but if you're so strict and serious, where's the love and the joy and the happiness? Some of my most successful spells have been absolutely ridiculous and funny and spur of the moment and, you know, just absolutely ridiculous. That's all I can say. And it says something about the person if they think that anything that isn't anything that has like a theme or has whimsy or, you know, an element of comedy is going to make people take you less seriously because, you know, yes, I might have the Justice League Tarot and I might use that. It doesn't mean that I'm less of a tarot card reader. It just means I really like Justice League and I really like the art on these cards and I'm going to use them. And if you can't take me seriously for that, well, that's your problem. That's your issue. You know, don't take that person seriously then. Nobody gives a rat's ass about your opinion. Probably no one gives a rat's ass about my opinion. But just stop tearing people down. Stop trying to define paganism. narrowly and stop critiquing things that you haven't used. I guess that's my main message of this. It's a little ranty. My pagan videos do tend to be ranty because I'm private with my path, but I have opinions about paganism in general, so I guess that's all I have for today for a pagan video. I will see you next time. Bye-bye!